Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Uncut Eats with B. So today we're gonna be making a lamb dinner for two. So without any further ado, we got some vegetables over here. And fruits. We're gonna make a salad with that. We also got some olive oil, some white wine. All right, we got a little honey that we're going to use to season our lamb chops. We got some fresh Parmesan cheese there. We also got some arborio rice here, which we're going to use to make our risotto. All right, and if you look here, got some mushrooms here, which are gonna also go in the risotto. We also have some shallots and garlic that are cut up already here. All right, I got some seasoning blend here, which we're gonna use to pretty much season the lamb chops. And in this, I have some peppers, some grated pepper in there. We also have some paprika, some cayenne pepper. Got a little salt in there. All right, we're gonna use that to season those lamb chops. And also we got some herbs here, which is pretty much some oregano, some mint, and also some parsley. And we're gonna grate them garlic in there also. And then we got just a little bit of parsley here to garnish. So to go ahead and to start out, we're gonna pretty much just go ahead and transfer these lamb chops here. Well, actually this was a rack of lamb and I cut it down, not the chops, the rack. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead, sprinkle a little bit of that seasoning mix we have here, these herbs. Alright, we're gonna go in also with some of this seasoning mix. We don't want to over season them, so just lightly. It's probably about good for both sides. We're gonna also squeeze a little honey in there. Guys, these are gonna be bursting with flavor. Alright, last but not least, we're going to add a little olive oil to this. Alright, now we're going to go in with a good old hand. We're just going to go in and work these in, all these ingredients in these lamb chops. I'm going to go ahead and let these sit for a little bit. Let them soak that seasoning up. Yeah, it looks good. I'll probably put a little sprinkle more seasoning over them. I think that should be just about good. Alright, so we're gonna set those to the side. Let me wash my hands real quick while you look at those marinades. And then we're gonna go ahead and start to work on the risotto. Alright, this is gonna be a beautiful dish, guys. Alright, so first order of business, we're gonna go ahead, put a little olive oil in this pot so we can start the risotto. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and add all this onion and garlic in, or the shallots I should say. We're just gonna pretty much saute these for a couple of minutes until they get nice and tender. When you're making risotto, guys, you have to be very patient, you know. You gotta slowly work your ingredients in slowly, you know. You gotta monitor it a lot, so it's not something you can just leave and run off and come back to. You want to slowly, you know, stir it as it cooks. So we're just gonna saute up this for a little longer. Go ahead now and add our mushrooms in there. Okay, so while I'm sauteing, guys, over here, I got a pot of stock right here. This is store-bought chicken stock, but I went ahead and add some garlic and onions to it, some celery, some thyme, just to, you know, bring like a little freshness to it. You want to keep this on the fire, guys. You want to make sure this is always boiling, or at least always hot, so you can add it to the risotto as it's cooking. Alright, so we're gonna use that there. And I'm using about a cup of risotto. So you're looking to have about 2 cups of stock to cook that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and saute up this a little bit. Alright, what we're gonna do now, we're just gonna go in with some white wine. Alright, got a cup of white wine in there. And we're gonna let this come to a simmer. Give the mushrooms a little chance to cook through a little bit. I want to pretty much leave this on the fire until that wine pretty much evaporates out there. Alright, so we're just going to let this, like I said, simmer down just for a couple of minutes, just until that wine pretty much evaporates, and then we'll come back and then we'll start adding that rice. Alright guys, so pretty much this wine and reduced. That's what we needed. That's pretty much what you're looking for in there. It's pretty much all gone. So we're gonna go ahead now and add our risotto in there. Well, not risotto, but our rice. Just gonna go ahead and saute this up. So pretty much it's all we're gonna be doing for the whole cooking process of this, is just slowly adding the chicken stock as the water evaporates out, or as the stock evaporates. We're just gonna keep adding more until we get to that consistency we're looking for, that texture. It should be creamy but still have a little bite on the inside of the rice, not cooked completely. Now we're gonna go ahead and add our first ladle full of stock in there. And like I said, this is what you're looking for. You want to just add a little bit at a time. And you want to make sure that, like I said, you keep the stock warm. You know, that will, so the end product will be nice and creamy. You don't want to add it cold, or else you won't get that texture you're looking for at the end of this. So as the water evaporates out, you go ahead. We're just gonna keep adding slowly. Add another before we Alright, so while this is simmering over here, we're going to leave this briefly. And what we're going to do is we're going to come over here now. In the meantime, while that's simmering, we're going to go ahead and start working on this salad real quick, while still keeping an eye on that. So to start out right here, got some baby arugula. And I'm gonna go ahead. Just add enough, just enough for 2 people. Alright, that's probably good right there. Alright. We're gonna also add some apples to that. We're gonna add some tomatoes to that. Okay. So pretty much we got some tomatoes here. Just gonna cut those in half and pretty much add those right in to our fresh salad here. Nice. So add a bit of freshness, let's say, to the salad. Alright. Alright, so in the meantime, see our risotto over here. Pretty much all that stock has evaporated already. So we're gonna go ahead and add some more to that. Like I said, guys, just keep an eye on it. You can do something else in the meantime to utilize your time wisely. Alright. So we're gonna pretty much leave that again and let that simmer down for a little. Okay. Now we're gonna add some fresh apples to this. Alright. Okay. That's that. So the next thing we're gonna also do here is we're gonna make a quick vinaigrette for this. So I got a little bowl here. I'm gonna squeeze a little honey in here. Yeah, salt. A little olive oil. And we got a little mint here. And we're gonna squeeze some fresh lemon juice also in there. About a half should be good. Alright. Just gonna take you like a little spoon. And just mix all them ingredients together. Pretty easy and simple. Alright, now let's go check on that risotto again. Nice. That stock evaporating out again. Alright, so we can come back and check on that in a little bit again. Alright guys, and we're gonna take this. I'm just gonna pour this right over this salad here. We're just gonna go right in and mix all these together. Alright, so nice little fresh salad, guys. Go with our dinner. Alright, so we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna take this and set this in the refrigerator until we're ready to serve. Alright, in the meantime, let's see what this. Yes, it's coming along nicely. Alright, let's go ahead and add another ladle of stock. Slowly work that in. At this point in time, we can go ahead and also add a piece of butter to that. say, guys, this is a very patient dish. The result is good though. Well worth the wait. You can also take a little parsley, cook right in there. Simmer. And then guys, real quick again, we'll come back over here back to this lamb. We're gonna start cooking that up in a second, but I know I almost forget we had some garlic to add to this. So let me go ahead and grate this right in. Some fresh garlic right in here. I'm just using 2 pegs of garlic here. Alright. Alright. It. And I'm just going to go ahead. You know, better get your hands dirty again. Just use a spoon to work this in. Oh, these are going to be so good. Alright. Let's go back over, check on this risotto here. Guys, you want to cook this down on medium heat. I said no rush. Medium to low heat. Now while we're at this point, we're gonna get ready to start cooking up those lamb in a little bit. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut my oven on and set it to about 400 degrees. So the oven can start heating up. That rice is absorbing up all that liquid. Time for to add some more stock to this again. Like I said, you're just gonna keep repeating this process until that rice pretty much, you know, start getting nice and creamy. And it's just about done. When you taste it, it should still be a little al dente. You still have a little bite to it, not fully all the way cooked through like regular white rice. Alright, now at this point in time, you can go ahead and grate some Parmesan cheese in there. Okay. Just grate some fresh Parmesan cheese right in. Alright. Just gonna slowly work that in. Alright, so at this point in time now, I'm gonna go ahead and move this over to another heat over here, another fire. Because what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and start working on them lamb chops. Or should I say the rack of lamb. So let's move this over here to another flame. And we're gonna let that keep simmering down slowly. Now I got another pot here, which I'm gonna pretty much use to sear these the lamb in. So we're just gonna go ahead and add some olive oil to that. You can just go ahead and move that around so it coats the pot properly. Okay. Get that a chance to heat up, and then we're gonna go ahead and add our lamb to it. Brown it up and then transfer it to the oven. So while that's heating, let's go back ahead and check back on this lamb, on the risotto I should say. Yeah, this looks nice, so I'm gonna go ahead and add some more stock to this and let it keep simmering. Yeah, so stock right here, guys, is pretty much almost done. Alright, so that should be just enough to finish it up. So now this starts smoking slightly, so we're gonna go ahead and start adding our lamb to this. Like I said, we're just trying to get a little brown on these. Stir it for a little bit. I guess the guy was just trying to get a little color on each side. We're gonna let that sear up in a minute. So I'll check on this over here. Just to make sure you keep an eye on the risotto. You see it's done double in size already, and the amount of rice we put in at first, because it's absorbing up all that liquid. And the more liquid it absorbs, the more tender it gets. So we're just gonna let that keep simmering for a little bit. Alright, let's see with these now, because go ahead and flip these. Like I said, that's all you're looking for, a little sear like that, pretty much on good. Go ahead and flip these all over. Get a little sear on the other side of them. So we're going to finish them off in the oven. So we're not really cooking them on top here, just putting a little sear on them real quick. And I'll lock those seasoning in. That's nice. Guys, if you run out of if you run out of stock before this thing is finished, I just added a little bit more water back to this. Alright, and I'm gonna leave it on the heat so that warms through, and then we can go ahead and add that to the risotto as needed. But I think we're just almost done here, so maybe another little bit more, it should be good. A little bit more stock, so we let that sit there. Alright, now these are good now. Should be about good. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and just take this whole thing right here and make sure, whatever you use to sear it in is oven safe. So this is, so I'm just gonna take this and go ahead and throw it in right into the oven. Alright, and then now we're gonna come back and keep checking on the stock. Alright guys, so this has been about 3 minutes in the oven. So I just took them out real quick so we could flip them over. Alright, so you know that both sides can cook evenly. It's not gonna take that long in the oven. Alright. Now that looks good. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these back in, and then we're gonna continue cooking that risotto. Alright guys. So that little water that I added to this stock here, pretty much good. So that should be just enough to finish cooking this stock. So I'm gonna go ahead and just add the rest of that in here. And if using store-bought stock, just make sure you get the one that says low sodium, because you don't want to make a dish too salty. You remember, salt comes from the cheese, and the stock is usually salty itself. You add butter to it, so you want to make sure that you kind of balance it out properly. Alright, so I'm just gonna let this, I'll just add this a little bit more to this, and then once that simmers down, that should be it. So that's the end of the last of it. It's done. I think we can add this a little bit more Parmesan cheese to this. Alright, and just a little tip more butter. Alright, this is good, so we're just gonna let this go ahead and simmer down for a little bit, and then that should be ready to go. Alright guys, it's been about 7 minutes in the oven. Now these are done. So what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna go ahead and transfer these to a plate here and let them rest for a little bit. Alright, yeah, transfer them real quick so they can rest, and we're gonna go ahead and take that pan dripping and pretty much make a little sauce. Nice. Alright, so if we come over, so while that's resting, we're gonna take that and go ahead and pretty much make a sauce out of it. A little white wine. Now we'll come over here and check on the risotto. So you see, that's the texture you're looking for. Nice and creamy. You want to make sure your fire is all the way down. And you're just going to leave that ready, finish simmering up just for a few more minutes while we make the sauce, and we'll be ready to plate up. So we'll go back over to this here. We're going to go ahead and just add a little bit of wine directly to this. Now we're just going to kind of pretty much bring that down. And guys, just don't worry about what was on the spoon, guys. Just from the butter we just put in the risotto. So also going to add a little bit to this, and just be careful handling this because it just came out the oven. You want to burn yourself. Just going to pretty much get all that pan drip in there. Bring it up to a bubble. turn that into a little sauce. Got a little bit extra of that fresh seasoning mix we had left. We're gonna add it in there. Nice little squeeze. Got lemon juice in there also. Alright. Last but not least for this, we're just gonna go ahead and add a little bit of butter in there. And that's just to finish up our sauce. Guys, you just want to reduce this till, get a little thick. And we're looking for a nice saucy consistency. It's a little bit thick. We're going to let that sit and just keep reducing. Just a little bit more. Alright guys, that's good. I'm going to go ahead and cut that off. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and remove that from the heat. See, that's kind of what you're looking for right there. You can see that. That kind of type of consistency. Not too watery, not too thick. Alright. Good. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and start plating up. I got 2 plates here. We got 2 plates here, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, put some of that good creamy risotto down. Take your time and plate up, guys. Make sure everything looks nice. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and grab that salad from the fridge. We had sitting on the inside. Okay. You make sure your hands clean, guys. You can go right in and grab some and just add right in this. Okay. But preferably you can use a thong, a pair of thongs if you have at home. Looks nice. And now I'm gonna go in. Just gonna put about 3 on each plate. Or you know what, maybe we'll go ahead and just put 2. And then guys, last but not least for this, we're gonna go ahead and add just a little bit of our sauce to these. A little bit of our pan dripping. Just put a little bit right over these. Nice. Now, of course, guys, we want to make sure that we clean up. A little messy made on the plate, you know, you want it to look nice, like it's coming from a 5-star restaurant. But you know, you did it right at home. Alright, and then of course, we can't forget some wine. And guys, we got some wine glass here that I put inside the fridge to freeze. Got a little cheap bottle, a rosé here. Only cost me like $6, like nothing expensive. Go ahead and serve that up like that. Ooh, this whole thing is icing up. Alright. Alright guys. Nice dinner for 2. Of course, it's a little rosé in there. All done in the oven, guys. Nothing complicated. And again, like, comment, subscribe. Hope this video was helpful. And again, thanks for watching.